Welcome to the Trading Sliders Podcast. Here we go, episode number 89 of the Trading Sliders Podcast. How's everybody doing out there? I'm Bobby Puckett. Here with me in studio is Kurt the Flash Bennett. What's going on, Flash?
Not much, man. Just like you, getting in after a late night.
Yeah, the traveling road show continues.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, and we got the race day report back.
Yeah.
Two
of them this time.
Yeah, like two times.
I got to do a little work on mine still, but it took like 12 takes to do that one thing I did. So.
See, Flash is spoiled.
Yeah.
I go and do the race day report, and I throw it to Flash. I say, Flash, what's the racetrack look like? Flash is looking around going, I'm just going to talk about the track. What the hell else?
Well, I did the same thing you did. We was at Thunder Mountain Speedway, and I kept calling it Thunder Valley Speedway. Oh, yeah. I'm so used to Thunder Valley at home. So.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I got mine on one take last night.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
I didn't screw up anything.
Well, that's what I said. I got to get a little better at it. But
well, sometimes everything goes smooth. And then sometimes, like I said, we was at Mountain View that one night, and I just said, piss on it, this one's going to work. And I screwed up 3 things in that last one after about 9 takes. So,
right, yeah. It happens sometimes.
But yes, the Traveling Road Show continues. Flash was at Thunder Mountain Raceway, or Speedway.
Speedway.
Yeah, Thunder Mountain Speedway. See, we still screwed that up.
Yeah.
And then I won't screw this up. I was at the Lincoln Park Speedway last night.
Yeah, what's weird about that is I live in Indiana. Bobby lives in Kentucky, so I go to Kentucky and Bobby goes to Indiana. So we passed each other on the highway. Right?
Actually, literally on the bridge.
Yeah.
I call Flash, hey, what are you doing? Crossing the bridge? Hey, me too.
Yeah.
Same damn bridge, same damn traffic.
Yeah.
Because the city of Louisville decides to dig up Interstate 65.
Yeah.
And the busiest race week of all time coming up.
Yeah.
In our area. So, enough about us.
Yeah.
This week's guest, Keith Kunz.
Yeah.
What? Wait a minute. Yeah, Keith Kunz.
Yeah.
Could it be Indiana Midget Week coming up? I'd say so.
Yeah.
The car owner of KKM, Keith Kunz Motorsports, 8 Chili Bowl championships, 13 USAC Midget National Championships, 6 Power Eye Championships, 2 Extreme Championships. In 2025, won all 3 national tours.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Only had to just check out these names as drove for him. A few of them. Some guy named Tony Stewart.
Yeah.
Some guy named Kyle Larson. Christopher Bell, Jay Drake, Brian Clausen, Rico Abreu, Buddy Kofoid, Logan Seavey, Cannon McIntosh. The list goes on. Jacob Denny, last year's champ. The list goes on and on.
Yeah, they may build champions there. I don't know.
Yeah, just a little bit. And this is a longer interview, but it's definitely worth it. When you get a National Midget Hall of Famer, and he gets in his element, and we caught up with him at his element, and it was a good bullshit session. Let's put it that way.
Really good.
So we know this sounds like a broken record, but we have to do the housekeeping each and every week because these guys help us get up and down the road. They help us bring out this unorganized chaos to you every week.
Yeah.
First off, I want to say I'm glad Brandon Hooker at Diesel Boys is doing better. He was hospitalized last week, but he's going in the right direction. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So if you need any diesel truck work done in the Kentuckiana area, reach out to Brandon Hooker and Diesel Boys LLC. Our deep dive is being brought to you by Kentucky Clutch and Performance. Guys, this week, let's keep it a little light. Chris isn't going to like me saying this, but he's going to be going to the races 5 nights. I'm going to try to hit 4 or 5 nights this week before I hit the road.
Yeah.
So, we always appreciate your work, but bring in some like Toyotas, Mazdas.
Yeah.
Bring in some little light stuff. Don't bring nothing. I don't need no pulling truck that exploded like I had the other day and I got weld plates back together. We don't need none of that shit this week, okay? This is a race week. So, but reach out to Kentucky Clutch and Performance. We can get you taken care of. Our slider of the week being brought to you by Speed Decals. Walden Speed Decals is a continuous sponsor since show number 1. I think Chris came on show number 2, which he was kind of on show number 1. I just didn't say nothing about it.
Right.
But yes, 2 of the OG sponsors, as we're on episode 89.
Yeah.
Getting ever closer to 100.
Yeah.
100 is going to be a pretty big deal because we're 89 consecutive weeks, but reach out to Walt at Speed Decals if you need any type of vinyl work done. Our crash of the week being brought to you by Dio Handyman Remodeling. Seeing David must be doing better. He's at Kentucky, Kings Island this weekend.
That, yeah.
So now I'm going to tell everybody, just send your major work. We don't need none of that light work. No, he don't need no small work. He's riding roller coasters. He's good enough to do hardwood floors.
Yeah.
So reach out to Davey if you need anything done around the house. 812-989-5002. Our racetrack spotlight being brought to you by our good friend Jeremy Thomas and JT's Trackside Catering. Jeremy's probably not going to like me. That's all my sponsors are going to tell us. Quit talking about us.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, give him a break this week.
Yeah.
He was just he was at Mansfield 2 weeks ago. He was at Eldora feeding over 200 people for the whole weekend.
Oh, yeah.
But he's good at what he does, and he loves what he does. So if you got any type of catering event, we know graduations happening, birthday parties, reach out to Jeremy Thomas at JT's Trackside Catering. Our question of the week being brought to you by Bandit Race Cars. This week's question of the week is actually, you asked for one, we're going to give you multiple. Because Kurt and I can't do just one.
Yeah.
But because we will piss off half of the other racing community. Yeah. But if you need any shock work done, reach out to Brian Barber. And he will be competing in the Kentucky Speed Weeks. So if you need shock work done and you tear a shock up or whatever, get with him. He'll be going back and forth to the race shop every day. So reach out to Brian Barber. He's a Fox Shock representative, and he will get you taken care of. Our Pound the Cushion segment being brought to you by RacingDirt.com. If you missed last week's Pound the Cushion segment, it's basically this week's Pound the Cushion segment. So go back and listen to Pound the Cushion Volume 4. We had Drake York previewing all of USAC Midget Week, and we had the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Steffen, who is going to be on the call for every single Summer National race. Yeah. Preview the Summer Nationals for us. So go back in Volume 4 of Pound the Cushion. You can find it anywhere you find us. Everywhere you find us, you can find that. Really, really good insight. Especially Chris Stephanie's talking about being on the road and having to figure out how to do laundry. And it's just a really good deal. But
I think I have to figure out after about the first week how you keep talking after that next week.
Yeah, exactly.
A voice lift.
I tell you what, he doesn't do a whole lot of screaming. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. But that's being brought to you by RacingDirt.com, and our past guest segment being brought to you by HCC Lawn Care. Past guests had a pretty good weekend this weekend, and we'll brand new sponsor that we just picked up. We're going to call it our Whitaker Trucking Top Dog of the Week. Yeah. So the performer that goes out and just has himself a week, because our Slaughter of the Week, that needs to be for the race win or the excitement. But the Whitaker Trucking Top Dog of the Week, if you need anything hauled, gravel, topsoil, whatever, Whitaker Trucking right here in Louisville, Kentucky can get you taken care of. All right, Flash. Got through the housekeeping. Yeah. News of the week. This is going to be pretty heavy. Dirt Late Model Dream happened. Yeah. So we're going to discuss that. Hunt the Front is not a fan of national formats, apparently. So we're going to get into that. Drivers in the booth. Some people complaining. Some people hate it. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get into our busy stretch. The next 10 days in our area has got race cars galore, whichever way you want to go. So we're going to talk about that. And then our weekend race trips. Flash went to Thunder Mountain. I went to Lincoln Park. And past guest segment and fan question. So that's this week's show. That's what we're going to cover. All right. I'm going to start off, though, Flash. So I was at Lincoln Park Speedway last night. And this happened there last night a bunch of times. But it happens when we go all over different pockets. Yeah. People appreciate our work and the fan support. We get people that come up to us, hey, I listened to the show. I've had people all over. I've had race car drivers that come on and come up to me and goes, hey, man, I listened to the show. I love it. And I'm like, okay, we appreciate that. But I'm like, really? I wouldn't think. Our number says that a lot of people's listening. Yeah. But to me, I still can't fathom. Right. 25,000 people. Like the Yum Center being completely sold out. Yeah. And more people listening to us than what's packed in that building that night. I do not understand that at all.
It's pretty cool.
It's very appreciative. I mean, we have drivers, fans. We got a big endorsement from Pat Sullivan last night at the racetrack. And that was after people already walked up to me and said, hey, man, I love the show. Yeah. You know, you get the way a sprint car driver in the country walks up to you and goes, "Hey, man, keep doing what you're doing. We love it." I mean, that means a lot to us because a lot of people don't know how much goes into this.
Oh yeah, they don't realize how much work.
Yeah.
Well, mostly Bobby does.
Yeah, I mean, a lot goes into this.
Yeah.
Like last week, I was so busy last week, Flash.
Yeah.
I recorded a midweek slider, and I never even put the damn thing. I didn't even put the video out.
Oh yeah.
It's recorded, edited, and all, but I had to do something else podcast related. So that was Wednesday, and I was like, okay, I got to get this done. And, you know, I recorded the midweek slider on Tuesday for Wednesday. Come Thursday, Tanya was like, "Hey, you never put your midweek slider out." And I was like, "Well, I guess I really can't put it out now because I'm talking about two things that's already happened."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Okay, well, we missed the midweek slider this week."
Yeah.
But yeah, so we appreciate everybody's support. And we say this all the time, word of mouth is the best form of advertisement. So tell somebody about us.
Yeah.
If you like us, tell somebody about us. If you listen and you don't like us, tell somebody about us. They might.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people out there that, you know, has better taste than you if you don't like this.
Yeah.
But no, we are really we're humbled and we really appreciate it. And I mean, I'll be honest, it's not all roses. I've had a couple people reach out and tell us we suck.
Yeah. That's okay.
That's all right. I told them, you know, you can watch, listen to whatever you want. Had one guy just last week came on and said, "Y'all shows are too long. This is the third week in a row I listened to the show and I had to split it up in twos."
Yeah.
I couldn't help it, Flash.
Yeah.
I sent him a message back. I said, "Well, it's going to be 4 weeks in a row because next week we got a really long, good interview."
Yeah.
We appreciate you hanging out with us. And in the words of KTJ, you're a fan, bro.
Yeah.
So he may not listen to us this week. He may not.
He might not.
But I couldn't help it. I was feeling kind of good the other night. So I had 3 TVs on, racing on. My phone goes off, and I'm like, you know what? Look, dude, I ain't putting up with this shit. So all right, let's get started with the Dirt Late Model Dream. We're gonna give you our takeaway. Good, bad, and indifferent. First off, 84 or 88 cars signed in for the weekend.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's really good. I know there was a lot of hoop hollering about the format, especially the flow format, because there's only 2 groups. Hunt the Front guys are going on and goes, "What?" First off.
Yeah.
Did you see?
I seen it.
Did you see Big Daddy Joe? Big Daddy Joe Duvall's response?
I did, but I can't remember what it said.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but I did see it.
So one of the joiners
When I
goes,
see Joe Duvall on my phone, I read every one of them.
Yeah, you have to. So Hunt the Front dude goes in and he hates the format and he, you know, why get penalized and blah blah blah. The track slows down, so we got 80 cars. How come we can't have 4 groups? Why we got 2 groups?
Yeah.
And then, like, people start blowing them up. This one guy said, "Well, that's what happens when you run with the big dogs. If you don't like it, you know, stay home." One guy even said, which it's funny, but I don't really agree with it. He said, "I'm pretty sure your racetrack's doing pretty good, so you could tell Adora how to run it."
Yeah.
That right there, I don't agree with. The racetrack is doing really good. But his next line was really funny. He said, "I seen at your last Late Model Challenge Series race, you had 14 cars. So I'm sure you can explain to them how to run an 88-car program."
Yeah.
That was funny.
Pretty good.
That was pretty good. First part, I didn't agree with because their racetrack is doing phenomenal.
Right.
Second part, hilarious. So Joe Duvall, it looks like me typing it up. So there's like 4 or 5 misspellings and wrong pronunciations. And he goes, "Or you could just practice a spelling bee." so Big Daddy, just, or you could practice a spelling bee. Yeah. And then Ricky Thornton Jr. comments on there and goes, "Hey, bro, we used to just have 1 group. Be glad there's 2.
Yeah.
And then people start killing RTJ. You know, why you always coming on somebody else's post? You're running so bad. You should be working on your race car."
Well, RTJ comes from draw redraw, so I mean, let's go back to that.
Yeah. Well, and the joiners even said that though. They said that somebody said that we should draw for all of them. He said, "I'd be fine with that."
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're all over the map right now.
Yeah.
So that was Wednesday. That's how it all started off.
Yeah.
Flow Racing Night in America, $30,000 win. Nick Hoffman won. Came from 5th. Decent race. Wasn't great. Wasn't terrible. Actually, it was pretty good. It was pretty good
Yeah.
as slick and as hard as it was.
Right, yeah.
Apparently, Mother Nature, after 3 nights, said, "I'm fixing this shit."
Yeah,
These guys are going to have to earn it.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that. So, Hoffman wins Flow Race Night in America, $30,000. Now we go to split fields. 44 cars race on Thursday, 44 race on Friday. First, do you like the split field format or not?
I do. I mean, if you're going to be there, I wouldn't mind it. But the only thing is, you're not racing against everybody the same night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
it could get loaded heavy one night and not the next. The way they got set up, that's the only thing about it. But
well, here's the thing though. One thing that I do like and I don't like about it. I like the split field because I like there being. This is going to sound hypocritical. I like the track being in better shape,
right?
Because with all the qualifying and stuff.
Yeah, I like it. It keeps the track better all night.
Yeah.
I do like that.
But here comes the hypocritical part.
Yeah.
I wish they'd run the Eldora stock cars or something else with them.
Right. Yeah.
For the driver's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, you have
And
no
the
time.
crew's sake.
Yeah, you have no time at all.
I don't feel so bad for the drivers. Yeah. The crew.
Yeah. Well, you got some guys. The drivers are the crew.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean,
been there a few times.
Yeah. Every time I went to the track, I was the crew and the driver.
Well, I usually had one crew member, and that was.
And he usually
had 3 cars to work on. So.
Well, he usually had to fight the guy off that you wrecked with, so you could fix your shit.
Yeah, stand on the trailer with the jackhammer.
Yeah, you keep him over there, and I'm gonna fix this thing.
Yeah. But no, that would help if they just had like you just one, where they had. I mean, not a real big division. Just
you couldn't run modifieds. Everybody in the country would go run.
Like you said, maybe run the
Eldora stock cars.
Yeah, stock cars would be good. Yeah, something like that.
But just for time matter. But BP32 went on and showed everybody that he is probably the greatest dirt late model racer in the history of the sport at the age of 29. But we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to because we want our fans to come back and listen to us.
Right.
So we can't piss them off. We're gonna wait till the end to do that. So, but Bobby Pierce wins from 7th on preliminary night number 1. Hurt a motor the night before when he's running in the top 5.
Right. Yeah.
So could have went 3-4 this weekend.
Yeah.
So racetrack was a little bit better than Wednesday night. Had a little something to lean on, but the cushion got treacherous off too.
Oh yeah,
it got Eldora, like old school Eldora, but it was still hard in the bottom.
Yeah.
And then JD wins preliminary night number 2, and JD looked like JD of the old.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he got in the wall with like 5 to go and fell back, and I was like, uh-oh, he's done.
Yeah, that's what I thought
He just drove the shit out of that thing.
He had the right rears tore off of it and everything, and he just wheeled it, man. That's all there was to that night. I mean, he was rolling on the top side up there though. That's unusual for him to be right up there like that.
He's like he had something to prove.
Yeah.
And then the big rainstorm came, and then Saturday night, Bobby Pierce saying you can't pass cars on a racetrack. At Eldora, there's no cars ever being passed, everybody says. Bobby Pierce started 13th, took the win. For the people that's going to say, yeah, but there was a cushion, he's good on the cushion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't go to the cushion until he got to about 3rd place. A lot of it was through the middle.
Yeah.
Like, and if Bobby Pierce gets good like that through the middle of the slick, you guys are done. Yeah. Like, done.
Well, I was watching that on my phone last night while I was watching the races at Thunder Mountain, too.
Yeah.
And I told my wife, I said, just watch him go in the corner and, when he comes off 4, and you can tell he's going to drive under him, but how he drives and gets the car slowed enough, but not too slow to where those guys can't get him coming off, too. He has that perfected. There's only 2 or 3 other guys that are anywhere in the ballpark with being able to do that.
Well, one thing that I was going to say about his run last night was he was running 3 and 4 on the cushion the whole night.
Yeah.
But he ran that slider line even when there was no cars to pass.
Yeah.
That was his momentum line to keep it going because if you got up in the cushion in 1, it almost squared off, and then you banged it coming off 2. So he just eliminated the first part of it.
Right.
He just drove to the cushion to get a run down the backstretch.
Right, yeah.
The kid is so damn good. Like, it's not even... Just like the other night when he took the lead on Moran.
Yeah.
So he took the lead in the preliminary night. He took the lead on Moran, and he went to the bottom to break... he went around Moran on the top, goes to the bottom to break his momentum. Moran slides up the track. Well, he kills his own momentum, coming off 2, so he knows he's a set and duck. Well, he slides himself in 3 and 4, so Moran can't run the slider line, And then as he rips off 4, he slides himself in 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So Moran had to, he screwed up and got on the brakes and shoved his front end.
Wall,
yeah. And then it was over.
Yeah.
Like, because anybody else would have said, I've been running the bottom, I'm going to the bottom.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm going to slide myself, change the air of your car, make you make a decision, and write me a check.
Man, and it's the only other complaint I have about Eldora or the Bay Tracks is the air. I hate it, man. Every time it could be a clean slider and it still takes the air off of them so bad that they hit the wall afterwards. I mean, most of them, and except for some of the guys are smart. They know when they're getting a slider, they'll stay up on the guy as close as they can possibly be so it doesn't mess them up. And that's the only cool part about it.
But, well, here's the thing, because I said that too. Yeah. But when I was interviewing Chris Ferguson, Chris Ferguson says, you remember big track racing back in the day? Everybody just kind of strung around the bottom or strung around the top. He said, now you can use the slider to change the air to change the race.
Right.
He thinks the racing is better because of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it probably is, but if I was the guy that was getting...
I'd be so pissed.
Oh, man, I'd be so mad when he took the air from my car.
I'd be so pissed.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, I didn't really think of it that way. I was always like, well, the air kind of sucks. And I was like, well, because...
I've seen 4 or 5 guys do it this weekend, you know.
And they're getting good at it. Yeah. So...
And I was actually proud of Huddy.
Yeah.
With Whitener.
Yeah.
I mean, I like both of them, but Whitener's a little rough sometimes.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Around the edges. And I was glad to see Huddy drive back in there on him like that. And he never touched him.
Yeah.
But
he let him know, like, hey, bro.
We're not going to do this every single time.
So this week's Crash of the Week came to us in the preliminary night when Nick Hoffman got into the inside wall, lost the nose, slid across the racetrack.
No, he just drove in there and drove through him on purpose.
That's what everybody on the internet says.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And these
are people that's never been in a race car.
And this is the reason why I'm so glad they had Ricky Thornton Jr. in the booth that night.
Yeah.
He's like, no, that's not what happened. He said, that is definitely not what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, Nick don't drive like it anyway.
No. But man, what a crap. Mason Ziegler went for a ride.
Oh, yeah.
That was a sprint car style wreck.
You know, the flipping part didn't scare me. It's when he landed that last time and it bounced like twice. That's
those are hard.
With all the sprint car people getting hurt from bouncing like that, you know, that made it rad. Especially when it broke the rear end in half, you know what I'm saying?
It was dope.
Yeah.
So reach out to Mason Ziegler and get some T-shirts.
Yeah.
Because as much as you guys don't know this, he is kind of a small family operated team. I mean, they got a couple cars, but he's not he's not Jonathan Davenport, Nick Hoffman, Bobby Pierce type type of team.
And speaking of shirts, Fager's finally got a shirt I can buy. I don't know if anybody notices, but I only wear button-up shirts. I don't wear T-shirts. I think my wife ordered me one yesterday while we was going to the racetracks.
You want to know something really funny? They showed that on TV there, and I said, damn, man, that shirt flash would wear.
Yeah.
And then yesterday we were driving, Debbie said, sending a message, look, I found Curtis' shirt. I said, yeah, I told you. Yeah. But overall, weekend, pretty good weekend. Racetrack was good. But one little takeaway, they got everybody working together. All the series are working together. That's great for the sport, the major events. But I do have one simple request. I love Dustin Jarrett, and I think Ben Shelton did a hell of a job this weekend. But if all the series are going to work together, and we had Eshelman and James Essex work together in the booth, it's time to bring Ruben up there in the booth. He shouldn't be down in Victory Lane doing video work.
Right.
If we're all going to act like we're all going to get along, let's bring the other National Tour announcer up in the booth for the weekend. We can, on the flow night, I get it, you do your stuff. But for the dream, if we're all gonna be in this together. Let's have James and Ruben call the Saturday night races. Which I think James did a hell of a job pit reporting, and I think Dustin Jarrett does a phenomenal job, and Ben Shelton's even kind of growing on me a little bit. So that was it. All right, run through this week's past guests real quick. Past guest segment that got some wins, being brought to you by HCC Lawn Care. Gunnar Setzer picked up his very first non-wing sprint car win at Bloomington Speedway Friday night. Ethan Barrow picked up the Hoosier Huntley 305 win Friday night. Mike McKinney, the Magic Man, got it done at Kankakee. Got it right this time, Flash. I'm not going to say it twice, though, so Mike McKinney won there. Parker Perry, P Squared, picked up the Winged Outlaw race at the Miami County Raceway. BP32 went 2 for 2 this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby Pierce picked up $120,000 in his first ever dirt late model dream. Alan Pinball Douglas caused havoc on Friday and then picked up the win Saturday night at Rockcastle. All right, Flash. I got a little group text, okay, with like a bunch of racetrack stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to tell you what the group text said. I'm not going to tell you who said it because I shouldn't. But
yeah.
So Pinball got crashed Friday night. Pinball raced at the Sportstrom.
Yeah.
So he went down and handled business. Dude wrecked him, knocked his rear end out, so he's got work too.
Yeah.
You pull in pits. Evidently, those dudes thought they wanted some smoke.
Yeah.
So they come on back to the pit, according to an official that was at the racetrack.
Yeah.
They come on back there and going to get them some. And guess what they got?
They got something.
They got them some. The guy said, I don't know who the 93 is, but he is a bad dude. He took on 5 of them and won till the police got him. So former guest, Alan Pinball Douglas, holding it down for the drone.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got the win at Rockcastle. Blake Brown picked up the Working Man 50, the $5,000 to win Superstock race at Rockcastle. We had Rockcastle covered.
Yeah.
Downtown, uptown, out of town. Dalton Brown picked up the Pro Late Model win at Rockcastle. Tyler Carpenter picked him up a win at Elkins, West Virginia. And I've seen people going back and forth talking about his cherry picking. First off, there is no cherry picking. If you got to know where you're at in the sport. If just like there was a couple guys last night that was at Lincoln Park Speedway, and people said, well, they should have been running the USAC show.
Yeah.
Well, that's not really how it works all the time. Let's just put it that way.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Downtown Dalton Brown, where was you at last night, man? Your buddy Logan Walls finished 5th against the Touring Series. Should have been over there racing with him.
Well, see, but I'll tell you why.
Oh, I know.
I'll tell you why Downtown Dalton Brown wasn't there. Because Downtown Dalton Brown runs a certain tire.
Yeah, I know.
And
that's what
the other series runs another tire. I'm not going to say I know anything about the tire business.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
I was just giving him crap.
Yeah. And our good buddy that everybody asked about, David Clark, took the win at Volunteer Speedway last night in the Open Wheel Modified Series.
Oh, that's good to hear.
And we want to give a hat tip to a show supporter. He's not, and that hasn't been a guest, but Royce Harmon finally came off the bridge. He was going to jump.
Yeah.
He was really going to jump, go head first, but he picked himself up a victory, and everything's all well then. This
Yeah, that's
week.
good.
We're not jumping. The car's not for sale no more. None of that.
I just told him over the phone that thought maybe he was thinking he was washed up like me, but
He said, well, he thought he was too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thought he was. And Kurt, he may be next week again.
Right.
But this week he's back on top.
Yeah,
So
so
you're
good.
saying there's a chance. All right, Flash. Weekend race trips real quick. We're going to let you start. You made the trek down to Thunder Mountain
yeah, Thunder
Speedway.
Mountain Speedway.
Okay.
I've got it right now.
All right. So,
But now, yeah, we went down there. That place is so awesome, though, man. You pull in down there. We got there a little early. They every week they have a band playing for you outside before you come in if you want to sit out there and watch them and everything. But yeah, it's the first time my wife had been there, so she liked it pretty good for being up on the hill like that, where you can see everything, and it's just pretty scenery up there. But they ended up, it was the Cruiser 5,000 to win. Kentucky, Tennessee Border Wars. It took me like 6 takes to get that, okay? that screwed me up more than the Thunder Mountain. But anyway.
work in progress here, guys. Work in progress.
Yeah. But anyway, they had 17 cars show up for that, and they were 17 good cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a heck of a race there. And then we had the modifieds and street stocks, or I think they call them hobby stocks down there, and front wheel drives and junior front wheel drives. But in late models though, they're 604s. But man, I tell you what, on that track, you couldn't hardly tell the difference. But guys, the way the track was, it was pretty badass last night.
Well, that place races really good.
Yeah.
For as much shit as I gave them when they started, it races really good.
I'm still gonna give them crap about one thing, and that's the tabletop and turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, we got to get it out.
Yeah.
if you get the tabletop
This is
out
like
there,
the Brownstown wall.
Yeah.
It needs a tabletop out there.
yeah, because you've got 1 and 2 figured out.
Yeah.
If you get the tabletop out of 3 and 4,
Yeah.
you boys, you're moving on up the list.
Yeah. But Corey Hitchcock's had fast time, so he started on the pole because they don't run heat races. They just,
I seen that last night. I said,
they just race.
I said, boy, Flash ain't gonna be pissed. They ain't even got no late model heat.
Yeah, I wasn't mad about it. No, it was actually good. So they started straight up, and him and Corey Hitchcock and Austin Yarborough, them two, they raced. I mean, they battled for the first 25, 30 laps, and then Corey got out a little bit on him, and then they started catching traffic, and Corey tried to get around the boy on the outside, and he almost run him over the tabletop on the backstretch. And then he went to the bottom, and the guy cut him all the way down to the bottom. But by then, Austin done caught him and pretty much almost had him passed. And then the slow car, I think, got him kind of. Yeah. Well, they got around him and got going. And then they was racing together. I mean, they was pretty much single file, but they were close enough to each other. There's this old boy. His name is, I'll tell you here in just a second because I made sure I want to make sure I get him on here. Joey Armistead III. He 21 car. He was getting ready to get lapped by Corey Hitchcock, and he moved up. Well, when he moved up, he started running the top. Well, he started beating Hitchcock for like 3 laps in a row. He was pulling him like 2 car lengths. Well, then he finally really figured it out, and he just run off and left Hitchcock, and he probably pulled a straightaway on Hitchcock and caught 2 slower cars and passed them. And then the Austin Yarborough, he got to the top side and tried to pass him. Well, then Corey decided, I better get up there.
Yeah,
so he went to the top and started blasting it on top then. And so then they both moved to the top, and it was pretty much over after that. But it was a good race.
I'm surprised Armstead started on the bottom, racing Sonoya and North Georgia all the time.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there was no other option of just not running the top from the get-go.
Yeah. He got up there. He showed them guys where it was at up there. I mean, he was a half second faster than them guys at least. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was fun watching him, and I just want to make sure I gave him a shout out because he made the show last night. I think he ended up getting like 7th, 9th or 7th, I think, something like that. But he was way back there in the back for a while.
Well, that's pretty good. Going to get lapped and running, almost top 5.
Oh yeah,
can't complain about that.
So that was pretty good. Oh, I want to give a shout out to Logan Walls too. He ran. He got up to as high as 4th for a little while, but then he ended up settling in 5th and ended up having to finish there. But it was a
former Training Stars podcast guest, Logan Walls,
and running with the touring series like that's a pretty good deal.
He's not scared of no competition.
No,
I'll tell you that he is. And Joseph, if you're listening, he is in a Velocity race car.
Yeah.
Because I screwed that up, and they made sure to tell me about it.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. But racing was good all night. I mean, every division was good. So and the big crowd had a nice crowd there, and I got to hear Cody early on the mic.
Yeah, so, Cody's good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so, Cody's a good dude.
Yeah. So we had a good time. Got to camp out there last night, so it was fun.
Oh, good deal. Overall, good trip.
Oh yeah, great.
Tanya and I made our way. This is Race Day Reports number 2. We haven't done none in a while. We did 2 this week. To let you guys know, we made our way to the Lincoln Park Speedway. 42 non-wing sprint cars.
Yeah.
Like I think they had 119 cars total. They had race cars everywhere at Lincoln Park Speedway.
Every division was packed, it looked like.
And I tell you one thing. The field at Lincoln Park, last night we had the winningest sprint car driver in the country in the last 2 years, Ricky Lewis. We had former Little 500 winner, USAC National winner, multi-time Kokomo track champion, Shane Cottle. We had 3-time Bloomington Speedway track champion, 2-time Lincoln Park Speedway track champion, Harley Burns.
Yeah.
Chance Crum was there. I mean, it was...
You guys, just because it doesn't say USAC when it's a sprint race, do not let that deter you from going to a sprint car race.
There was so many. I mean, Max Adams was there. There was so many guys there that would. And when I walked through the pits, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm like this is gonna be good. So, first off, Tommy Estes and USAC. Let's thank USAC.
Yeah.
Because people don't know this. USAC has the lease at Lincoln Park Speedway now. That USAC is running that racetrack.
Yeah.
And Tommy Estes is doing a phenomenal job. Curb is big, track prep is good. they've made some improvements to the racetrack. Been a long time since I've been there, but you know where the scale house was, Flash?
Yeah.
Where the scale was, where you pull off, where we watched Brian Clausen and Larson go at it in that same bleacher. Well, now they have a catwalk so they took like 2 of those old storage containers.
Yeah.
And that's where they put their leaf blowers, all stuff in. They got a deck that goes up on top. It's got a catwalk on top. You can stand on top. I've got some video. I took a bunch of video content, so there's going to be a bunch of stuff coming out this week.
Yeah.
Trying some other stuff. We're trying some new stuff, trying to get our name out there a little bit more. But yeah, so in the pits, they've got the catwalk now. You can stand up on top.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's where I did my race day report from. Overlooking the racetrack there. So that was pretty cool. But absolute slaughter fest for the feature. I mean, there will be highlights, so follow along on the Trading Sliders Facebook page. I got to edit all of it.
Yeah.
But I got some good video clips.
Right.
Let's put it that way. But Harley Burns took the win. This week's Slider of the Week goes to Harley Burns out of Brazil, Indiana. He started second, took the win, but he held off Ricky Lewis, Shane Cott on the white flag lap. Going into turn 3, as they're getting the white flag, Harley Burns is leading. Coming off of turn 4, he's in 3rd.
Yeah.
And then he slides them back in turn 1. Absolute incredible race. Ricky Lewis, I bet he slid Harley Burns 12 times.
Yeah.
And can never remember. One time he biked up over the 4-foot cushion right front, wheelied up down the front stretch, slammed down, and then biked up on the left rear. But luckily the caution came out.
Yeah.
He lost about 20 car lengths, but he didn't lose second place.
Right.
But yeah, it was a really, really good race. One of those that it was definitely Trading Sliders approved.
Tell people about the racetrack though, what they do there, how that track's laid out.
So when you walk in the racetrack, first off, when you walk in, you walk up top, you bring your chairs in, you sit in.
Yeah.
But this racetrack don't have a wall, Flash, and I love it.
Yeah.
And people that's listening to Brownstown,
that's what I was telling you. Is why.
Yeah, people are listening to Brownstown and say, "What the hell? He's so hypocritical."
Yeah.
No, because I just said Estes does such a great job. He cuts a cushion in the racetrack.
Right.
The cushion is cut all the way around the top. Guess what they got to lean on? A cushion. And guess what it produces? Amazing racing.
Yeah.
Lincoln Park Speedway and Bloomington Speedway, they don't need no walls.
No.
Brownstown, you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good trip. It was fun. And shout out to the seasoned veteran that keeps on winning. Lee Hobbs done got him another Superstock win.
Oh, yeah.
There was just a few boys there. The Sasser boys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's just a little bit of competition.
I think I seen where they won again Friday night. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah.
All right, Flash. Our Bandit race cars. Oh, and our Whitaker Trucking top dog of the week. That goes to BP32.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby Pierce with taking his wins. James from Waycross, Georgia. Sorry, but he's still the best dirt late model driver in the country. So, our band race car fan question of the week. If money was no option, what is one event that is a must-see bucket list deal?
Yeah,
That comes from Clay from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'll let you go first, Flash.
I don't know, man, because money usually an option for us because we just figure out how to get there.
Just go, yeah.
I'd have to say Super Nationals for me.
Super Nationals?
Yeah. I mean, I've been to Eldora. I love Eldora too. But, if you've never been there, it's really cool. But Super Nationals is it's crazy. The work they do on the track, the car, the different type cars and how great they race.
So that's and that's funny that Kurt went that way because a lot of people are going to know me. They're going to say I'm saying a Chili Bowl. I'm saying the Tulsa Shootout.
Yeah.
The Tulsa Shootout is a big, you can't even fathom how they get that done.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those things where oh my God.
I'd say it would have to be between those three, though. The Shootout, the Chili Bowl, and for me.
Well, see, that's funny. When I said in the opener, we're not going to stay just one.
Yeah.
Because those were the three that I was going to say. Like, you have to go see these. And I've been to the World 100, been to the Dream. They're great.
I've been a bunch of times to those, But
it's just not as good as the other events.
No.
So, the real answer is, if you're used to watching late models, go watch something else.
Yeah.
If you're used to watching sprint cars, go watch something else. Appreciate everybody's type of racing.
Yeah, and then like Jason, you should have been at Eldora when the first time I went. They had 222 cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not getting a good track no matter what.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, they had what 20 something cars in each heat race too.
Yeah, it was crazy back then.
It was fun.
So, all right, Flash, we're gonna get off here and listen to the man, the myth, the legend. On coming up on USAC Indiana Midget Week, Keith Kunz from Keith Kunz Motorsports, 8 Chili Bowl national titles, 13 USAC Midget National Championships, 6 Power Eye Championships, 2 Extreme Championships, over 200 wins in the USAC National Division, 35 sprint car wins. And he made sure to tell us that Cole Witt won USAC races in his car, and Jay Drake, a 2-time sprint car, Indiana Sprint Week champion, in his sprint car. So he called me out.
Yeah.
But Keith Kunz, this week's Trading Sliders Deep Dive. It's time for the Trading Sliders Deep Dives presented by Kentucky Clutch and Performance. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, on this week's Trading Sliders Deep Dive. All right, Kirk, we caught up with the man in his element. As I say that, we got somebody going to come up and talk to him right as we speak.
I want to talk to him.
Okay, all right.
I want to talk to him.
The man, the myth, the legend, Keith Kunz. First off, I'm just going to start right off the bat. How the hell do you do everything you do?
I don't know. I just day by day, and you know, the thing with as I've gotten older, I can do what I want to do nowadays. You know,
Yeah.
I've got guys there at the shop to take care of everything and work on the cars, so I don't have to be there. So I can go do other things that I enjoy now, and you know, I've kind of gotten into this micro stuff and really like it, and the promotion part of it, and putting on these races, been able to kind of use my brand and my name and go out and get sponsors and put some eyes on micro racing.
And with that being said, I guess I should tell everybody where we're at. We're at, I always known it as Columbus Speedway or the Bartholomew County Fairgrounds, but now it's the Tony Stewart Speedway. Whatever it is, I'm gonna tell you this: you guys have done a hell of a job. That is a racy little joint out there, from what it used to be.
Yeah. So we're in Columbus, Indiana, here at the Tony Stewart Speedway, basically the fairgrounds. And they used to have a flat quarter mile. It's actually still here, the flat quarter mile. And they always run go-karts on it, TQs. And last year, Troy Knorr, who's the promoter here now, talked to the county and the city, or I think the county, and talked them into building a track inside of it with some banking, or a real racetrack instead of a fairground track.
Yeah.
You know, so everybody kind of got the approval, and the fair board guys, Troy and Rick and some of the guys, really, you know, they started last year. They actually built this track last year. And the guys didn't really know what to do. Myself and Jason Setzer came out and talked to them and kind of helped them lay it out, and you know, wanted some banking in it, and they got it going. And I think since last year, they tried to put on 26 races here, and they've only got 6 in because of rainouts.
Yeah, well, as you say that, when we pulled up, I said, damn, this place looks really good for all the rain we've got.
Yeah.
As I pulled in, I said, this looks really, I was expecting mud everywhere, you know, basically a shit show, and it wasn't. I mean, it looks like you guys have been racing for weeks.
So we've been out here for about 2, maybe 3 weeks from where the track was, knowing this race was coming on, and the original design of the track. It needed to be a little bit wider on the entries. It needed a little bit more bank up top, and a little wider, because it kind of flattened off. I knew the micros, if we were going to run 2 grooves, you needed to get something up there to hold the right rear up so we could get going around it. So the fair guys brought in, they're getting ready to build a new county maintenance building right here on the property. So they had some really good clay over there, and they came over and put it on top and built it and bulldozed it, and it's rained and trying to get it dried out. And we kind of got a really good break this week. They had the track really close. It just needed some fine tuning. And Clint Pursley, Dason Pursley's dad, who's a best friend of mine, I talked him into coming here because he's a dirt guy. He has his own.
So hey, we need you.
Yeah, it's kind of what he does. You know, I mean, he's got a business.
Yeah.
Is he the one running the Bobcat tonight?
He's running everything. He's on the grader, the
We was talking
Bobcat.
about how good that guy was.
Yeah.
Whoever's on the Bobcat. Okay.
That's
Clint,
Clint
you've done a
Pursley.
hell of a job.
Yeah.
Because when I seen him scrape the top
Yeah.
and not even, because I've done some work,
Yeah.
and not even put a smidgen of a groove in, I said, this guy knows what the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
So Dason, he follows Dason around, on the High Limit tour, and they were in Pennsylvania, and I got a hold of him, and he says, well, we're done there. We're running Lawrenceburg this Saturday. So he drove here, I think got here Sunday, and it's been raining for a couple days, and other guys have been working on the track, putting some more drains in and stuff like that. And I think it was today, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think Tuesday he got on the track with the grader, and he spent, I think, 10 hours. I don't think he ever came off the grader for 10 hours.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this place it's immaculate. I was shocked, and we're going to talk about your midget career and everything, but I've been a big advocate for this, and I've even said this, that I think they need to do this at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but this works even perfect. We need our own mill bridge, our own park plaza, and why not have it dead center of the state, Columbus, Indiana? We can use Tony Stewart's name, we can use Keith Kunz' name. I mean, is this something that maybe we can do once a month or every other week? Not the Give Back Classic, but Micro's up here on a Tuesday night or something.
Yeah, I think they have Micromania here in Indiana, or Micro Hoosier. I forget what the actual name of it is.
Hoosier Dirt Cup.
Hoosier Dirt Cup, and which is going to be US 24, Peru, I think Rushville. I can't remember all the name. Rush County.
Yeah.
And then we added this one in this year. So there's going to be another one of these races here that the same organization, NARA, is going to put on.
So we're going in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, and that's the goal here is these guys want to see more racing, and, we've kind of helped them bring this track together where they can do more events. I personally think that you could pull off a midget race here very easily.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what as we walked in, I said, this here's got Midget Week written all over the damn thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said. It almost reminds me of Thunder Valley a little bit, just the layout. But this has more banking, and the straightaways are a bit longer. But just the actual layout of the racetrack, how it flattens off, and then it's got a cup on the top. It almost reminds me of Thunder Valley a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is Bartholomew County Fairgrounds, and it's a nice facility. It's nice grandstands and parking back here, and it's a large facility.
Yeah. So they got camping and everything back
A
there.
lot of camping,
Yeah.
it's a nice place that you can put on a race.
Well, and so we know that you're having fun now with the micros. You were the guy forever, and still is to this day, the standard of midget racing. It's Keith, and then now Keith and Chad. Keith versus Chad. It's y'all's teams. Everybody gets along. Everybody's in this together. But from where you started, you and your brother, to the enterprise that you built now, did you ever think this was going to happen 40 years ago when you started doing this?
Not at all. Not in my wildest dreams. I've been very fortunate that me and my brother Rusty, we had some really good drivers in that early 90s that we got hooked up with, Rich Vogler, then Andy Hillenberg, and Paige Jones. We won 2 back-to-back big races, which was Paige at, I think, the 93 Belleville Nationals, and then Chili Bowl in 94 with Andy. And that just kind of really changed everything, and I got hired to go to California. Gary Zarunian, who owned the Sleepy Trips car, called me and wanted me to come help him. And I went out there, and when I was there, I talked him into hiring me.
Yes,
I did. We did this for a hobby and that. I was like, I came back home, told Rusty, I said, they want me to go to, go do this. He said, you got to go, man. He said, you don't get this kind of chance. And back then, nobody hired mechanics. So packed up the family, everybody was on board, and we moved to California, and it just kind of took off from there, and I think I was out there for about 2.5 years, took care of Billy Boat and Jay Drake, and then Pete Willoughby, who's here from Columbus, you know, he was looking to start up a team, and John Godfrey, that owned Spike Chassis, called me and said, hey, you know, this guy's starting a new team up. And I was ready to come back, and I wanted to do the national deal. You know, we was on the West Coast, won everything there was with Billy Bolt, won a lot of national races, won Belleville. But I was ready to, I wanted to go do the national deal. And
with ESPN and everything, then you know, with Thunder and the whole deal, you know, it's almost like not only did you want to, you know, I don't know if you thought of this at the time, but it's almost like you had to progress your career. I mean,
and I really wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't thinking about it. I was just racing. You know, I just wanted to race, and I wanted to go race at the national level, and.
He's like, Sleepy, you beat up on everybody at Ventura to Larry, but come on, let's go back east.
And you know, with Zeruni, when I was with Zerunians, you know, I went there to help with Sleepy, and Sleepy was at the end of his career, really, you know, and I kind of told him, you know, at some point there, I was like, you don't need me here, you know, I'm not helping you. And they're like, well, what do we need to do? I said, well, we need a different driver. And,
I'm going to take his National Midget Hall of Famer and fire him.
How do you fire a Sleepy Trip, you know? And they wouldn't even call him and tell him. They made me call him and tell him.
Like, you want to fire him, you do the damn thing.
So we actually hired Donnie Beechler, which I had been driving for me from Springfield. And
the famed Yellow 55.
So we had Donnie, and with the Zerunians, I came back and we run some national stuff. We went to Belleville, and my brother actually won it with Kevin Doty, and I run second and third with Zerunians cars. And went to Eldora, and I put Steve Knipper in the car, and we won Eldora, the 4 Crown that year for Zerunians. And then I went to work for John Lawson and took care of Billy Bolt for the next 2 years. And we run some national races, but we mainly stayed on the West Coast, and I wanted to go chase the national championship. And Pete Willoughby started this brand new team, and he had some kid that he was going to run, and the kid got hurt right at the end of the year and broke his neck. And Jason Leffler, John Godfrey got him together with Jason Leffler. Jason came back and run, I think, one race for him at the end of '96, and he had arranged a deal with Jason to run 97 for him, and that was when I got on board and was going to take care of it. And my brother was going to be the crew chief on it, and I was just going to work on the cars. And I think they actually already had hired Jason. They were going to run this other kid as a second car. And then when he got hurt, Pete said, who do you want to hire? And I said, Jay Drake, because I've been with Jay. So we ended up with Jason and Jay in our first year together, and went out and won the national championship and knocked off Steve Lewis.
Yeah. Well, here's what's really fascinating to me. You know, your wisdom, your hard work. You've always worked hard. But when you talk about the guys you worked with, it's almost like everything fell in place. Yeah. The whole career. Like if it wasn't for Vogler, you wouldn't have got with Tripp. I mean, it's just you know. And if it wasn't for the injury, you wouldn't have had Jay. And Jay still runs your midget team, doesn't he?
He did up until about last year. He moved to Charlotte and went to work for. He's taking care of Hayden Wise now.
Okay. Yeah. So he's doing the
he really wanted, he kind of really wanted to go down there because his son Nick Drake's down there and the grandkids, and he never got to spend a lot of time with them. And and the opportunity came along, and he moved down there. Just I had some really good drivers there in the early days. That once you go win with a good driver.
It's easier to find a next good driver.
Everybody knows who you are. I mean, they start calling you.
Yeah.
People actually would start at that point. They would call you, and you were one of the car owners that provided rides. It wasn't a hire ride or anything like that, or buy ride. It was, you went and hired drivers to go win races. So the good drivers would call. It's like we went to in that '93 era. We were trying to find somebody to go to Hell's Corner, Wisconsin. They had like a race that was 100 lapper, $5,000 to win.
In '93, that's like $30,000 to win.
And they were running Silver Crown, at Milwaukee, which is right there. So we called Schumann, we called Jimmy Sills. I forget who the other one was that we called. It was really, really good. And, you know, they kind of all hem-hauled around. And we're out in the garage one day, and Rusty gets this phone call, and it's this kid, Tony Stewart, who's nobody. You know, he just running a midget. Yeah, he's running a midget, and we've run with him. He won at Terre Haute and Raleigh's car. I think we run second and paid with Paige. And Rusty says, "Hey, you know that Tony Stewart kid that just won Terre Haute here a while back? He's on the phone here. He wants to ride it. Wants to know about running Hell's Corner." We'll go, "Hell yeah!"
Well, thank you. Yeah, we're needing somebody.
He shows up at Hell's Corner, him and his girlfriend, and didn't have enough money to get her in. Had to borrow money from us to get her in.
Well, you knew he had to run good. Then he had to pay you back.
Went out that night and won.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, fall into somebody like Tony Stewart. You know, that's the kind of guys that would call you at that point. So that really that time period would really put us on the map, and he was able to get the best of the best drivers, and then when you're out there winning, then all the product sponsors, you know, they all want to be a part of it. So you get deals on everything, and it just gets better and better.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because, you know, now you have a great working relationship with Toyota, but when Toyota was trying to break in, I remember, you know, the Fords and the Mopires still, and there were still some Chevys out there, but nobody really wanted to take the chance on them because it was it wasn't a proven product, and you were not only took the chance, it almost revitalized your career again.
Yeah, so I mean, there again, you know, I mean, we were in the right place at the right time, because they came on the scene in 2005 with Steve Lewis. Steve was on the Fords, you know, and they were winning everything.
Everything, yeah.
And Toyota came on, and Steve went with the Toyota stuff, and it actually split Bob East and Steve up, because Bob was on the Ford guy, and I think Bobby was on a contract with Ford at that time.
Yeah.
So they kind of split them guys up, and I think Kelly Drake took over kind of running the team, and they had, I think, about 3 years there with the Toyotas, and they won some races, mainly I think pavement stuff, big tracks. And Steve decided to retire at the end of 2008. And we actually won the championship in 2008 with Cole Witt. With
another throttle dumper, an absolute throttle dumper.
Yeah.
I seen Cole Witt at Kokomo one night in a sprint car.
Yep.
I swear, I thought there was no way he wasn't going to knock the building down outside of 3 and 4. He would put the right rear, way before Kyle did it and made it famous at the Chili Bowl. He would put the right rear up on the wall at Kokomo, which is treacherous on entry, and then you know how it fans out off 4. He would kind of run a diamond line. Actually, now that you say that, you know, it kind of made me think of the way Rich Floger used to run Salem all the time, just right up against the fence and then turn down. But Cole Witt was a throttle dumper and a half. I don't know how you reeled him in.
Yeah. So 2008, we won the USAC championship with Cole. It was rookie year. He was 16 years old, and we had an S-Slinger. We've been running S-Slinger at that point, and Steve Lewis retired, and I think he suggested for the Toyota to come to us, and they approached us. Gary Reed was in charge of the program at that point, and he reached out to us. And he said, "We want to have Cole, the champion. We want him on our motors. You know, this is what we'll do for you. You know, we'll give you some motors and a little bit of help." And we're like, you know, free motors, hell yeah. Yeah, we can do this.
Well,
you know,
where have you been the last 10 years?
So in 2009, we took over the Toyota program, and we struggled. I mean, we went from winning the championship, and I think we won 6 USAC races that year, to 2009 through 2010, we never won a race. The motors just, we were dirt guys, but they made power, but we were a 6th, 7th, 8th place car every night.
Well, I think I heard one time, I don't know how true this is, but I don't know if it was Rico that said it, but somebody said the the Toyotas when he first got in them, they made all the power at the end of the straightaway, so you could, like, when you try to enter the corner, it was almost like having a Gleason, like it would free spin on the way in.
So we went through 2008, 2009. I even had Brian Clausen in 2009 or 2010. Brian was running all the pavement stuff for me, and I had number 39 on the car, and then he was running the family car on dirt. So we were kind of their car on dirt, our car on pavement for the championship points, car owner points, and we never won a race. At the end of 2010, going to Turkey night, I'd been begging them, like, I was ready to leave Toyota and go do something different, but I'd been begging them to let Rick Long at Speedway Engines help us, and he was doing the Mopar stuff for Casey Kane before that. Brad Sweet was kicking everybody's ass, and it was push rod motor, and he did our sprint car stuff, which was really good. So they got with Rick Long and Gary Stanton at that point and let them configure a new motor, and they gave it to us at Turkey night. Like, we got it like days before we went to Turkey night.
And put it in and try it.
At Irwindale. And let's try this new version. And we went out in hot laps, and it was like, whoa, we got something. I mean, we're like quick time all of a sudden, And we end up winning Turkey night.
Like, all of a sudden, we don't suck no more.
We won Turkey night with Brian Clausen. We won the championship. He won the driver. We won the owner. And was able to pull the whole deal off in 2010. It's like, we got something going into the next year. Well, Brian decided at the end of 2010 that he was going to run the family car for the whole 2011 season. So we needed a driver. And while I was on the West Coast, I think we were out there for a sprint car race. I see this guy out there, and I think it was number 38 car, Glenn Krosno's car. I'm like, who is that? And somebody goes, oh, that's Kyle Larson, this little kid. And we went to, we got back home and went to the Chili Bowl, and we had a list of about 5 guys that was kind of our prospects we needed to hire somebody to go chase the championship for Toyota. Yeah. And I told Pete Willoughby, my partner, I says, there's this Larson kid I was telling you about. I said, go up there and watch him. He goes up and watches, come back, he goes, that's our guy. He said, I'm telling you, that's our guy. That's what
we said the first time we saw him.
I mean, that was in hot laps, He said, that's our guy. And before the weekend was over, he went over and talked to his parents, and said, hey, we want you to come back and run the national championship for us. And I think Kyle had been running a little bit of sprint car stuff, out there, and he was hoping to go. His dream was to go run that World of Outlaws. And he was a little apprehensive because he thought he had something that he could go run sprint cars with, And his mom and dad, his dad especially, goes, no, you don't understand. This is Keith Kunz.
This is going to change your life.
And so they kind of talked it over and called us back, I think the next week and said, yeah, we'll do it. So 2011, I got Kyle Larson,
Yeah, that's
and by the end of 2011, we all know the story from there, so that was kind of, and the Toyota thing was, boom, it was a bomb now, we got motors that we can race with, And,
well, after Larson, people were calling again. It's like, hold on a second. You got new motors and you got Kyle Larson. Everybody wants to be part of this now.
That just changed the game again, and the Toyota thing just got better and better and better. And we were the only ones that had them at that point. Everybody else was on something else. I mean, they were available, and some people had them, but, we had better motors than everybody at that point.
So all the drivers that you've had. I mean, you've had Larson, Rich Vogler may go down as the greatest race car driver to never really get the opportunity because of the tragic incident. But with Larson, Vogler, Christopher Bell, Rico, Brian Clausen, I'm not going to say, all right, who's the best that's ever sat in your car, because that's unfair to all those guys. But when you talk about like Larson, you said, all right, he's got it. Same thing with Stewart. All right, he's got it. Have you ever sat there and just thought, this is the next guy, or is it just, you're so focused at the time, because I can imagine when Larson started running you guys, you're like, okay, we're going to have him maybe a year. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was pretty quick with him that, you could just see all the light bulbs going off, and with everybody, you know. And Robin Miller was he seen him, and he knew how good he was, so he was really talking him up in the IndyCar scene and stuff like that. Mike Hall at Chip Ganassi was a good friend of ours. We'd done some stuff with them, and he knew about him, and would talk to him about him, and we were going to Milwaukee. We bought a Silver Crown car, you know, just for Kyle to go run, because we knew that there was something there, and we'd never had a Silver Crown car before. So we had the Silver Crown, and we went to Milwaukee, and Mike Hall, I mean, Robin Miller was telling all the IndyCar guys,
anybody that would listen,
watch this kid.
Yeah.
You know, and Mike Hall, he had Kyle there. We'd taken him up to Mike's shop, and he had him on his pit box, and all the guys knew him. And Kyle goes out, and he's like, I think second quick, and runs second in the race. You know, so everybody's really amazed, especially when he walked up there. And he's this little kid. You know, I mean, he looked like a little kid. So he got a lot of publicity at that point. And then everybody seen how good he was, but everybody wanted to know who was going to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, our Toyota rep was showing him off to the NASCAR teams, and everybody's like, well, okay, who's going to pay for it? Well, you know,
like, well, that's the answer we're still trying to figure out.
Yeah, Toyota didn't have, you know, Kyle's family, they didn't have a dime. They never invested a dime. I mean, Toyota never had a driver development program. And we weren't even really dealing with the TRD guys. Like, you know, at that point there was David Wilson, Tyler Gibbs, and Jack Irvin were the three main guys, and we never dealt with them. We were dealing with the midget rep, which was Gary Reed. So Gary was the one that was kind of showing them off down there. When it was actually Spire had their management company, they got signed with, they recognized Kyle and signed with him, and they were the one that was really showing him off. And Jeff Dickerson, through Chip Ganassi, talked him into, I think the deal was, you know, Chip said, what do you need? And I think he gave him $125,000 to go do the K&N deal. Well, then when he signed up for it, he was actually in the diversity program, and kind of got through, I think, cheaper than that.
Another story of just right place, right time.
And you know, Kyle went out and started doing good. I think they put him in a truck, and he run really good in a truck. You know, the first night I think he run third, or, you know, damn near one thing.
Well, the truck he was back to like it. To the non-wing sprint car days, though, because you know you had to kind of drive them dog-legged at the time, so he was back in his element. Yeah,
I mean, so that's how quick things happen for Kyle. Yeah, and Chip got a hold of him, and you know the rest kind of happened. You know, that was just, it went quick, but Kyle was good. Everybody recognized it, you know, and.
But so, even dummies like us figured that out first time out. I was like, whoa.
Tell everybody, say, you got to watch this guy. And everybody's like, oh, you know, he's good in that, but he ain't going to be good in nothing else. I was like, just hang in there for a minute.
And
because he did crash a little bit, but that's because he had to figure out what the line was.
And I think that was a lot with our connection with Mike Hall. You know, Mike was talking to Chip, and Mike's always been a big help to us. I mean, we got to know him. You know, they actually did the program back in 2005 with a kid, and then Brian ended up in it, you know, where they helped us with some sprint car stuff, and Brian signed with them. And so we had a really good relationship with Mike Hall, and he's a big dirt fan and everything, you know. So he really helped, I think, promote that deal with Chip and Kyle. I mean, I don't even know if Kyle knows all the connections, you know, but everything just fell into place. It was, you know, pretty cool. And so we wasn't even dealing with any of the big Toyota guys.
you're just doing your own damn thing over here.
And then Kyle kind of bust onto the scene, and is so successful, and they find out that, I think they kind of knew that he was with us, but he got away. He got the Chip Ganassi and the Chevy stuff, you know, and a year later they're like,
what the hell happened here?
We had this guy right here in our own hands, and we let him get away. And it was David Wilson. He made the statement. He says, that ain't going to happen again. And we got a phone call. I think it was probably from Tyler Gibbs, and who is now the president of TRD. And they wanted to come to our shop and meet me and Pete. So it was him and Jack Irving came, and they basically said, you know, that ain't going to happen again. You know, we want your whole. You know, we were on all of our other cars where we still running S Slingers and stuff like that. You know, we just had the one primary car that had Toyota stuff that they were.
That's because they only gave you one.
Yeah.
They didn't give you two.
And they're like, you know, we want all your cars on our stuff. We want you guys on our stuff, and go find us another Kyle Larson. I mean, that's kind of what the whole meeting was about.
Then you run across Christopher Bell.
We don't know how we're going to do this. They didn't know the development program. They had no clue, but they were going to figure out somehow, you know. And Christopher came along, and I mean, we got lucky with Christopher. We were at Granite City, Illinois, racing with Kyle. Christopher's parked next to us in the midget that he had been driving a little bit, and he looked to us. We knew Jason Meyer, and that baby face young kid. It was kind of like he looked like Jason Meyer. Yeah, that was always the joke between us. You know, God, he looks just like Jason Meyer. And
his mom's got some explaining to do.
Yeah. He run our ass off that night in that car. You know, and it always kind of stuck. It stuck with us that night. We noticed it. And then he got hooked up with Rick Ferkel and ended up driving some races for Rick Ferkel. And Kyle had already kind of was on his way, and he called Pete. He says, there's this kid Christopher Bell. He says, you guys need to look at him. And Pete went to I-30, I think it was the Short Track Nationals, to watch him, and came back and said, you know, I think this kid's pretty good. So we hired him for the Chili Bowl the next year. And he did okay, nothing flashy. You know, I don't even think, he didn't even make the show. I think he ran 5th in the B main or something, you know. But there was just something there. And we offered him to ride for the next year to be our full-time driver. And, you know, we knew kind of the Toyota thing, what was going on, and we needed somebody. So it was kind of like, okay, let's take this kid and develop him. And man, I mean, he filled the shoes of Kyle Larson.
Well, here's what's funny is, so Toyota comes to Keith and says, look, you got to find us Kyle Larson, the next Kyle Larson. We're going to do this whole driver developmental deal, and we're going to put you in charge of everything. And he just sit here and told us, well, hell, we got lucky.
I mean, everybody says, how do you find these guys? And I don't know, you know, I mean, it's just...
Park next to us at the racetrack, and we might figure it out.
There's just... Sometimes you see something in guys, you know, in inferior equipment. You know, they're doing something above, you know, they're carrying the car.
Well, that's...
You know, and you can see that sometimes, and then you're like, you know, okay, what if they get in a good car?
Good car, Well,
I've said that a lot of times. At a lot of racetracks I've been to, I've seen guys. I said, man, if that guy was in a good car, it would be so.
And it don't even have to be a whole race. It could be like 3 or 4 laps, just a 3-lap segment. And you're like, whoa, like
there are so many talented kids out there that never get the chance. You know, but you know, it's just a matter of getting in the right situation at the right time, and somebody seeing you. And we've been very fortunate somehow between me and Pete, we've been able to just kind of tell the right kids, you know, that are coming along that, man, that kid's, there's something special. I mean, Jacob Denny, you know, who we got now. Buddy Kofoid. He was another one. And I think it might have been Kyle's dad, Mike. He causes a lot about kids, you know, especially California guys. And he's like, you know, watch this kid. I'm telling you, this kid's really good, you know. And I think that's how we ended up with Buddy Kofoid, was through Kyle's dad. Mike called Pete and told him this, you know, watch this kid.
Has he called you about Ryan Burnell yet? Because every time I watch him, I'm thinking,
yep.
Jesus Christ, like how has somebody not gobbled him up yet?
Yeah, Ryan actually drove for us.
Yeah.
There was a period there where he drove a few races for us, and I liked Ryan. I mean, he was good. But, I mean, when he got in our stuff, I mean, he crashed.
Oh, well, yeah.
We had some really bad nights together. And we ended up having, I really
that's part of it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a... So, I've always been really curious about this. Because you've done some non-wing sprint car racing throughout the years. How come, with us being Indiana-based, is it just your love for the midgets and micros now? We really didn't get no non-wing sprint car stuff. I mean, we got a little bit, but I mean, there's so many tracks around here. It seems like a driver development would be perfect.
So people, I mean, everybody knows me for midget racing. I have 35 USAC non-wing wins. We have 35 wins as car owners.
Yeah.
See, I
think
remember
we've won sprint week twice. With Jay Drake and Corey Cruz.
Well, I was going to say, I remember Jay Drake for about 2 or 3 years, pretty solid.
Yep.
But as far as just, I'm just thinking, Bloomington on a Friday night, Putnamville, because there's so much stuff that you could work, especially with having backing where, not going to say money's not an object, but you can go to a $2,500 to win race because you have backing. So,
and Cole Witt.
Yeah.
I mean, I had Cole Witt. We won second in the championship, damn near won the championship.
Yeah.
I almost beat Levi Jones. So I had, I've never won the sprint car championship, and that was something I always wanted to do, run second a couple times. We started, our first sprint car we got in late 99, early 2000, and that's when Jay Drake was really on kill. And then Corey Cruzman drove for me a lot through 2003, 2004. Corey won a lot of races for us. Won Indiana Sprint Week twice. I think we won it twice with Corey. And then through 2008, I had Cole Witt, which he was in my stuff. Darren Hagen.
Yes, I remember that too.
Hagen.
Yeah.
We won a lot of races with Darren Hagen.
I guess you did run more now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Through about 2010, I had Dave Darlin for a year, 2 years. And then
I always thought.
Then I kind of got away from it, and Christopher, we kind of had the sprint car again, and let Christopher run it a couple times. First race in it, first night, Christopher jumps in a sprint car. He won the No Way Out 40 here over at Brownstown.
Yeah.
And then he crashed at Kokomo during sprint week. We went the whole sprint week, and I think we was running like second in points, and he crashed at Kokomo, and that pretty much ended our sprint car stuff, and it ended his, because at that time we knew he was the guy and where he was going and everything.
Yeah. Sprint cars wreck hard.
Yeah. And that ended his
especially non-wing.
That ended his non-wing sprint car stuff at that point. Before that, he was in love with it, but then after that, it was like, all right, we can't hurt this kid.
Yeah. And if you get Kokomo or Bloomington or Putnamville on a bad night, it could hurt race cars and people.
I'll tell you,
great racetracks, but
I'll tell you another guy that almost nobody knows is Josh Wise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Josh Wise was driving our sprint car, and that's how he ended up at Tony Stewart's. They actually, Tony hired him to run his midget, and then eventually the sprint car, and he ended up going to, but he was running our sprint car that whole year. While he was running Tony's midget, I believe, and then went on to Tony Stewart's.
And the reason why I asked this, because this is just kind of selfishly me being the non-wing guy that I am. I love sprints. I love midgets. I'm kind of like you. I'm really loving micros. But I just seen John Stambro.
Yep.
And the Fox Brothers equipment was always good, but John Stambro was the most dominating sprint car driver that I laid eyes on.
Yep.
And I just kept thinking, man, if he got with a team like Keith, there's no telling. But I know you got so much going on at the time, but I'm just thinking, like, Stambro is the guy. He can work on the car. If he tears it up, he can fix it. And I was just like, that's a guy right there that just needed the opportunity.
Yeah, I think he drove for us at the Chili Bowl one year. He drove a lot for my brother in the midget stuff. I just never got to run John a lot. I think we did one Chili Bowl and was pretty successful.
So well, we won't keep you all night because you got a long weekend.
Yep.
I can sit here and the sun could come up and we could we can do this all night. So I'm not going to keep you all night. But 2 questions. How much longer are you going to do this? And then once you answer that, I'll part 2 of that.
I'll tell you, I've really kind of slowed down. It doesn't seem like it, but
I was say 100 races a year. He slowed down a little bit.
So I used to. I mean, I pretty much through all my career, I crew chiefed everything. I mean, we run 8 cars, and I crew chiefed all 8 of them that night, and then everybody else helped me. And then probably about 6 years ago, I got really run down and kind of got sick. Nothing major, just got run down.
Just wore out.
Just wore out.
Yeah.
And I never quite recovered from that. And I just, at that point, we had so much stuff going on that I had to let the other guys kind of, Bo Bender started doing some crew chief in there. And I had Big Al with me for a while, was doing a lot of it. And I just kind of I kind of stood there a lot of times with my thumb on everything, and nobody's ever going to do it the same as you do. And I complained a lot. I complained to myself a lot. They're not doing this right. They're not doing that right, you know. I complained to Pete, you know, and
Pete's like, well, then you do it then. You're like, well, hold on, I'm trying to take a break.
I physically couldn't do it, you know. I wanted to, but I just physically couldn't do it. And then Jarrett Martin came to us, and, you know, I took Jarrett and had him work beside me about 3 nights with Buddy Kofoid, and I just turned him loose, you know. And him and Buddy was just magic together. And at that point, I had him and Bo Bender, crew chief and everything, and they had everything in control. And I was miserable. You know, I couldn't
I hate this stuff that I love.
I couldn't physically work on it as like I used to, like the kids can nowadays, you know. I just couldn't go like I used to. And if you can't do that and be part, you know, have control, you have to relinquish control. It's hard. So I finally just had, and the micro stuff kind of got it. I got going on the micro stuff with Dason Pursley. I mean, he came and driving for me, and him and his dad, that's where he come from in micros, and me and his dad just hit it off. And he was looking, they were trying to go micro racing somewhere on an off weekend, and he couldn't get, I don't know, the ride, whatever he had, fell apart. I mean, his dad was talking, I said, let's just put one together ourselves. So we put a micro together for Dason, and we went out and won all kinds of races, and I just fell in love with micros.
Another kid that's just an absolute wheel man.
So, and you know, that's Dason's a man, what a story. I mean, he kind of, when he was with me, we won some races, but just couldn't get the whole thing put together.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, we really liked each other, and then he got hurt. You know, he got hurt in my stuff, and I was so close with his family when that happened. I mean, that tore me up. You know. So then, after his recovery, you know, like 9 months, I mean, he was paralyzed.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know if people really know. I mean, he was paralyzed, neck down, couldn't move. And by the grace of God, you know, he started recovering there. And they called me. I mean, we knew, I mean, his recovery, he worked hard at it. It was like 9 months. He wants to get in a car. And I said, well, let's get in the micro. If we're going to do this, let's go in the micro. We'll put a wing on it. We'll go to US 24. The doctor Heitzel with Toyota, he was not for it. Toyota was not for it. I mean, they didn't want nothing to do with it. So Dr. Heitzel called me, and he's like, okay, you know, I'm going to come to the track, you know, and we're going to
make sure he's okay.
We're going to, you know, they was not liking this at all. But Dason and his family, and, you know, like, he needs to get back in the car. You know, it's just, he has to. So we went up there, and it was like magic, you know. And
that power I win never felt so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we actually went to Coles County, and with one car, I think we run 4 classes, and he won 3 of the 4. We went back to US 24 the next night, and he won 4 features that night.
Yeah.
And his first time back after being paralyzed, and he was still really struggling with his left arm.
Yeah, with his
working.
grip.
Yeah, his grip and that, you know. And we raced back together there and put him back in the midget, and you know, it came, I don't know what year it was, there about 3 years ago. I was like, you know, it was end of the year going into the next year, and I was like, I don't know if I can guarantee a ride. You know, I didn't have the business at that point, and it's like, I can't promise you anything for next year. I'll run you, but I can't promise you exactly what all we're going to be able to do. And Chad Boat called him and wanted him to run Chili Bowl, and they came to me and they said, you know, what do you think? I said, do it.
Yeah, do it, because I don't really know what we're doing yet.
I said, this is why you came to me, was for people to call you and hire you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I said, but tell Chad you want to be his guy. I want to be, and I told Dason, I said, you tell him you want to be his guy, you know, for next year. And they went to the Chili Bowl, and I mean, he was badass all of a sudden, you know, and they went on, and that's, I mean, he was so much better in Chad's stuff than he was ever in mine. And he put a year together, and then they got the sprint car, and it was just like magic.
It just clicked.
It clicked, you know. I mean,
well, that and he was at a point in his career too where he just come back from the injury. He had a lot more to prove. The desire's a little bit different when you got something to prove.
You know, and I told him that. I said, you're a different person. You know, I don't know. You know, the wreck and the will and the work that he did to get back made him a different race car driver.
Well,
and I mean, him and Chad together was so. That's why he is today. You know where he's at. And, him and his dad both have called me, you know, throughout anything with Chad and beyond, you know, with Casey, you know, and kind of told me, you know, and asked for my advice. And I'm like, dude, yes,
you got to do it.
You know, it's like when Casey called him, and he had a ride, you know, the 13 car or whatever, but they called me and said, Casey, I said, don't even hesitate.
Yeah.
What are you even thinking about?
Yeah.
It's not burning the bridge, it's gaining an opportunity.
Casey Kane and the number 9. They go, well, that's all we want to hear.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're very proud of Dason and where he's at today, and it's pretty cool.
I said 2 questions, but I'm gonna make it 3 because you clicked on something when you was talking about when you talk about you crew chiefing. A lot of kids come to you. Some of them are mechanically inclined, and some of them know what they want in the field. And then you got guys like Kyle Larson that he doesn't care; he'll just do it. What would you rather have? Would you rather have a kid that's hands-on, or would you rather have a kid that don't know shit and you just drive?
Yeah, I want a kid that don't know shit.
Yeah, okay.
Because I, you know, Kyle and Christopher. I mean, I went. There was one time with Christopher. We were at Bloomington, and he I thought he did something stupid. He went in turn 1 like above the cushion and went out of the place.
Yeah, boy, this ain't Hobstyle. You can't go forward with the ball.
Killed. I mean, it really bent the car up. And put it back together, and we finished the night. Next night, I mean, we showed up to race. I don't even know where we were, Bloomington or someplace. I mean, never spoke. Never spoke the whole night and won the race. Like, I wouldn't talk to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna strangle him.
So, you know, I'm a guy.
So all these guys are just like your regular kids, right?
Yeah. I'm not talking to his asshole today.
I'm a guy that I think that's where I've always been so good at is I can watch the racetrack. I know my cars. I can watch the attitude of the car. And racing is about chasing the racetrack. You know, I'm you know, you can see here, I'm out here working that track. I can see where the track is going and how it's developing, and I know my cars, and that's where I've been really good. So I don't need that input from them, I feel like, you know. And my theory's always been, hey, and I usually give the guys all the same stuff. Yeah. You know, I don't do a different setup for Kyle than I do for Christopher. You know, my always thought was, okay, if Christopher can go 9.8 in this car, you should be able to. That car's got a 9.8 in it.
Yeah.
Okay, if you can go 9.7, that's in the car.
Yeah.
So
everybody else better get better.
Yeah.
So the guys racing with Kyle's like, damn, Keith, help us out a little bit.
That's my thought is the car has it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It has the speed. You got to figure out how to get out of it. If you can go faster, then he needs to figure out how to go faster.
Yeah.
And that's where them two guys were. You know, they were going to the racetrack, and in their mind, they were racing each other.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Yeah, they didn't. They basically was racing each other. I mean,
and then you throw Rico in there, and I had the three of them.
Yeah.
And then I had Tanner Thorson after that. I had all four of them guys, and like we go practice night at Turkey Night, and it was like the whole goal was to see who could have quick time at practice night at Turkey Night.
Well,
that's good though. That's good though.
At the right time to go out, it's like one more. I want to go now.
That's why those guys are so good.
Go out and lay that lap down. Just to have bragging rights over each other. They weren't worried about nobody else in the pits.
Well, I think Tate may have listened to him tonight because he was.
Man, Tate, I'll tell you what, something has clicked with that kid. He last year.
I mean, pedal to the floorboard.
That kid, I mean, there's a good case where that kid that's just boom clicked and figured it out. He is really kind of badass right now.
Yeah, that's one thing. I watched him at the shootout this year, and because he's never really been a cushion banger.
Yep.
He's always kind of, if it's slow roll the bottom, he was good.
Yeah.
But at the shootout this year, it was kind of like he had a mission to prove that he could run the cushion.
Yeah, he's matured, you know, his age. They just kind of all of a sudden mature and they figure. He's learned how to race. Yeah. He's learned how to find a racetrack. He's learned how to backpedal on the exit of the corner to hook the car up and not let it just drive himself out of the place. So he's actually figured out how to race.
Yeah, that's
and he's actually figured out how to find the racetrack, and he's done that on his own.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a good coach.
Toyota, he does great. Hold on a second.
I'm not a good coach
here
at all.
He is telling himself down.
Yeah. But you asked me like yeah, I mean, so I've slowed down the last 5 years off the midget stuff big time, and like before this week here, I haven't raced since on our way back from California. I stopped in Tulsa.
At Port City?
At Port City. And Dason, like, I stopped there because my motor guy's there in Tulsa. I stopped to get a motor and that, and met Dason's dad. We went to lunch and stuff. And I said, where's Dason at this week? Where's he racing? He goes, he's off. I said, he's home? I said, well, call him up and see if he wants to run this week.
Yeah.
We had no plan. This is like on a Thursday. He goes, I'll run, let's go out and run the non-wing 600.
Yeah.
He calls me back. He says, well, we can run the wing class too.
Yeah, you're like,
I go, okay. So I'm there by myself.
Yeah.
I don't have nobody with me, just me.
Yeah.
And I'm at the dyno. They changed like 4 engines that week on the dyno, trying to just go through motor stuff.
You're like, Clint, you're going to have to help us this week.
So we raced Port, and that was in late February.
Yeah.
I haven't raced since. So like I've been at home working. I actually inherited, my daughter moved, and she's into barrel racing and stuff, so they moved into town, so I inherited all their horses and stuff out there. So I've been building fences. And, it's time to put in the garden. So I think it's been like 4 weeks. I've probably only been to the race shop maybe 2 days in the last 4 weeks, and until
they got it cleaned up for you. I seen it on Facebook. It was nice and spiffy.
So late last week, I like Charlie Leffler. He's the only guy I got on the micro side. He comes down every day, works on stuff. He was getting everything ready, and so late last week I was able to go in, kind of do the setups on the car, start all the motors, and put me like 2 days in there.
Yeah, I gotta get ready, man. We got kind of a big race coming up.
We loaded everything up. We loaded everything up last night. I brought the truck and trailers out here tonight, and all them guys like, well, we'll be there about 3 o'clock. Well, at 3 o'clock, cars were still sitting in the trailer. I'm out there on the track.
Damn, I thought Keith would have it all ready.
They got everything ready over there, and I think it was 5 o'clock. It was about 5:30, 6 o'clock. I went over there and set all the shocks and drove off. And I hadn't been back. I'd been out all night. going back and forth on the racetrack. So,
well, we appreciate you being so gracious with your time. I said 20 minutes, and we're damn near an hour into this. So we'll have to catch back up. We'll come up to the shop one night. We can clean, break. Well, actually, Kurt will do the tires.
So what was your second question? You had two.
My second question was, how much fun are we having to this day? Are we still having fun? I see you smiling. I see you working on the racetrack. Is it going to be a transition where we transition into promoting and doing events just to be on a different side? Because I've seen you at the Chili Bowl ready to kill somebody on the ramp, and I've seen you here smiling on the grader. So, I mean, where are we at in our career?
I really like this stuff. You know, I like doing this, but it's a lot of work. I don't know. I'm ready to slow down. You know, I don't know. It's in the back of my mind. You know, I mean, there is no exit plan, but I need to have one.
I'm just gonna do this shit till I can.
You know?
I mean,
as long as my guys, you know, everything's still going, and I mean, it's tough right now because of the economy, and I mean, it's tough. It's tough racing right now, you know, because it's tough for everybody. It's just, you know, so I'm in a bad business to begin with, you know. But you know, I am kind of backing up a little bit, and I don't know.
Yeah, well, and put it this way. You're still having fun, and when you're having fun, this stuff here, it's easy to do when you're having fun.
It's like this week here. I mean, I'm having a blast this week doing everything I'm doing, but then come Monday.
I was going to say, Monday, you're checking out.
Monday, it's like, man, when it hits me, it takes me a while to recover. It'd take me 3-4 days.
You better get that damn tiller out and get that guarding going.
I got it in. I got it in last. I got it all done here in the last week. So.
Yeah, last weekend I went to Knoxville on Saturday and Eagle, Nebraska on Sunday. And Monday I'm at work. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, that's a terrible decision this weekend.
I get done this week. I got to go back home and get shovel horse shit because it's starting to pile up.
So we appreciate you coming on. Like I said, we'll have to get back with you. We'll come up to the shop and hang out, and we'll have you rate your top 5 drivers or something that everybody wants to know. And then I might even ask you about the biggest mistake that you had one time. We'll let you think about that. Like, I thought this kid was going to make it, and then all of a sudden it wasn't with me. But we appreciate you coming on. The man, the myth, the legend, Keith Kunz, right here in his hometown of Columbus, Indiana, in his element, working on a racetrack. As a train blasts by midnight on a Thursday night. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for coming up and doing this. I had a blast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Flash. That was Keith Kunz. We caught up with Keith a couple weeks ago now.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy when we do these interviews. You're like, all right, we'll put that one out next week. And then you get thinking, it's like, damn, that's a month ago.
Yeah.
Damn, that's 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, we caught up with Keith. And one thing that we appreciate is Keith said, you know, he don't really do a whole lot of interviews. Honestly, he really turned me down about 3 times. Well, he didn't turn me down. He just ghosted me.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, man. He said, I get so many, people wanting to do interviews, and they're always the same. And, I'm going to give a shout out to Kid Dasco, Devin Gilpin, for getting me a phone number to make this happen. Well, once I talked to Keith on the phone, he's like, yeah, come on up. And had a really good time. When he got done, he said it was the funnest interview he ever had. He may tell everybody else that too, but we'll take it.
Yeah.
Coming from a Hall of Famer and a legend. But had a good time up there. And that was the week of the Keith Kunz Give Back Classic. And he was really busy that week.
Oh, yeah.
As they were preparing for Midget Week this week. We were gracious with we were thankful that he was so gracious with his time, and some really good stories.
Oh yeah,
talking about Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell, and how he got lucky. How sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's pretty damn good, like one of the best ever to do it.
Right.
But he was talking about being down and out, and things just falling into place. So, really fascinating interview. Good stuff there with Keith Kunz. We appreciate, and like I said, it's Midget Week, baby. It's time to get excited. Hopefully the weather plays nice.
Yeah.
So this week's upcoming events, we have stuff going on all over the place, and everything's starting Tuesday. So we're going to start off with the racetrack spotlight before we get in, because it's not quite in our area. But Tuesday night, the Eagle Raceway High Limit Sprint Cars, Eagle Nationals, $50,000 to win on Flow at America's home track. Eagle Raceway, you've heard me talk about it a few weeks ago over the holiday weekend. It is one badass racetrack. It lives up to the moniker. 410 wing sprint cars there is going to be badass. This is the place last year where Corey Day exits stage right into the into the billboards. Big, massive curve, super nice facility. Make sure, like, I plan on going to the racetrack a bunch this week. So this is going to be one of those weeks where I have a bunch to watch back. And thank God for Flow, Dirt Vision, Start to Finish, all that stuff this week, because this is going to be a busy week. But the racetrack spotlight being brought to you by JT's Trackside Catering is the Eagle Raceway in Eagle, Nebraska. $50,000 to win for the High Limit Sprint Cars. All right, Flash. We're going to start off in our area first. Well, when I say our area, I guess it's all in our area.
Yeah.
Tuesday night, everything starts. So we're going to do this week's. We're going to cover 3 events, and we're not going to do it night by night. We're going to do it event by event. We're going to start off with USAC Indiana Midget Week. Tuesday night, they're at the Circle City Raceway. This is quite possibly the best week of racing in Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
Some people say Sprint Week is, but guess what? Midget Week, you get 30 midgets, and then you get a full field of sprint cars as the support division.
Yeah.
So this is probably the best week of racing in the state of Indiana. Or Tuesday night, Circle City Raceway. Wednesday night, Paragon Speedway. Thursday night, Lincoln Park Speedway. Friday night, Bloomington Speedway. Saturday night, Tri-State Speedway. Sunday, Kokomo Speedway.
Yeah.
Sprint cars and midgets every night. Like, if you live in the Indianapolis area and you don't make, actually, if you don't make all of these, you're full.
Yeah.
Get out to the events. Just cannot stress that enough. USAC Indiana Midget Week never disappoints. And then we're going to throw it over to our good buddy, Chris Steffen. Oh, first off, all that can be found on Flow.
Yeah.
Every bit of that can be found. If you can't make it out, if you live in Kentucky or you live in Tennessee, you can't make it out, make sure to tune into that.
Right.
And if you're a late model fan, if you're a fan of the Fender world, one of the most grueling stretches of racing is starting out. It's the Hell Tour, the UOP Dirt Car Summer Nationals. Go and like I said at the beginning of the show, go back and check out this week's Pound the Cushion Volume 4. You can hear the whole breakdown from the guys involved. Chris Steffen, Tuesday night, Brownstown Bull Ring, the epitome of short track racing in the state of Illinois. And then Wednesday night, they head to Kankakee County Speedway. Thursday night, the very last race in the history of Peoria Speedway. Before it ceases operations. Hopefully somebody picks that up and it continues to be a racetrack. But could be it could be the final event ever in the history of the Speedway. And we had a breaking news replacement. Tri-City, Illinois, Friday is off the schedule, but Coles County is on.
Yeah.
Friday night, Coles County.
That's going to be one to watch.
So you go Peoria, Coles County, and Fairbury.
Yeah.
Talk about tearing the hell out of some sheet metal that week. Those 3 nights, get your hammers ready, boys. So Saturday night with Fairbury, and we end week number 1 Sunday night at the Sycamore Speedway there in Illinois. So we stay in the state of Illinois. No breaks this year.
Yeah.
But they are doing weekly champions. Right. So Monday starts a new week every week. And then the overall champion, but no off days. 1 off day for travel.
Wow.
And that 1 off day, they go from Kentucky to Michigan.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they stop in Indiana first, northern Indiana, before they hit Michigan.
Somebody let them know 65 shut down.
Yes. Well, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. Should be exciting. So if you can't find a race to go to this week, it's just because you don't want to.
Yeah. That's the truth.
Yeah, that's just because you decided this week you did not want to do it. But we say this every week. Please tell somebody about us. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Pay attention to social media this week.
Yeah.
There will be a lot of video content coming out. As soon as I figure out how to edit this stuff in a timely manner.
Yeah.
Because usually I'm not very timely. Flash, you think I'm not very timely at doing the audio?
Yeah.
You should see in the video where the videos have got to match up.
Right.
Like, No, yay, nay, nay. No. I'm not getting hired as a production guy at Dirt Vision. I promise you that. They may hire me as a pit reporter and tell somebody they screwed up on the slider.
Yeah.
But there's no way they're going to hire me as production. But anything else before we get off here?
No, I can't think of anything. Just get out and see some races this weekend because there's plenty to go to. This is the best week to go because you're going to get all the cars everywhere. I mean, you know, anybody's going to be there. So
yeah. So get out, check it out. Until next time, we'll be trading sliders.